But first, the war in our schools against boys, the war against masculinity. Now, we've already seen activists push their Safe Schools program through schools, arguing that gender is fluid, and then we got critical race theory and an out there anti-white male agenda, with boys in one Victorian school made to stand up and apologise for the bad behaviours of their gender. And then white boys in a Melbourne school were made to stand in class in shame for being oppressors. But now, 9 Catholic schools around the country have asked their boys to answer a survey of more than 100 questions, loaded questions, aggressive questions, intrusive questions, and I think questions hostile to the values that make some men so admirable, strong, dependable. Some of these questions to these boys are amazing. How often does your father prepare food? How often does your father clean the house? I mean, what is this? Dobbing your dad? Go judge him? Other questions seem to ask the boys to dob themselves in and their schools. How often do you smoke cigarettes? How often do you drink alcohol? So it's no wonder that parents at one of these 9 schools, St Kevin's in Melbourne, arced up and got the school to scrap the whole thing. But I think the most sinister part, the saddest part of this survey has been missed, because it also asked the boys sneering questions about what society supposedly considers maleness. Did the boys agree that it was not good for a boy to be taught how to cook, or that a man shouldn't have to do the household chores? Did they agree that a gay guy is not a real man, and that a real man should have as many sex partners as he can? Well, loaded questions, like I said. The answers, of course, are no, 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 no. But in that list of questions begging for no, 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 no were these ones. Did the boys agree that no matter what happens, a guy should seem strong to others, and that if a guy gets upset about something, he should hold it in? I'm just wondering, hello, I'm sure you're seeing what's going on here. This is not so subtly teaching boys that to seem strong and keep going even in tough times, well, that's actually silly. And to feel upset but keep it together, not crumble, wow, that's wrong. Let's come and have a group hug. Now, don't think I'm reading too much into this, because this survey is linked to the Men's Project by the Jesuit Social Services, which last year asked a very similar list of questions to more than 1,000 young Australian men in its Man Box survey, which it explained like this.
The Men's Project asked 1,000 Australian men aged 18 to 30 about the pressures to be a real man. The pressure to be tough, to be the breadwinner, to always be in control and to have many sexual partners. It's these rules that make up the Man Box. Let's all break free from the Man Box and give boys and men the freedom to be the person they want to be.
Yes, boys, we've got to break free of the values of this man box, because the survey concluded living up to the pressures of being a real man causes harm to young men and to those around them, particularly women. Which made me ask, which of the values that this man box survey identified cause harm to young men and especially to women? Well, here are 2 of the values this man box survey asked the men to judge, much like it asked these schoolboys to judge similar values. Did they agree that a guy who doesn't fight back when others push him around, well, he's weak? And that guys should act strong even if they feel scared or nervous inside? These are terrible values. Now, ignore the snarky way it actually put those values. I, for one, see nothing dangerous in women, or nothing dangerous for women, if men think that they should fight back against bullies and fight back against the unjust. They also see nothing wrong about guys acting strong and showing courage even when they are scared. In fact, I admire it, and I would bet my house that millions and millions of wives and children have been very grateful to Australian men who've shown that kind of character. We wouldn't have an effective police force or an army or a fire service if such men did not exist. Brave men, determined not to surrender to their fears, not to flinch or crumble in a fight or walk away from one. Not when it's against the bully or someone oppressive. And I call these qualities heroic. So I wonder what kind of hand-wringer wrote these surveys, linking such qualities to being violent, to being a slob in the house, to being a danger to women. And I wonder how they would respond when someone, a woman dare I say, needs defending from some danger.